Welcome to The Scoop with Dukes. I'm your host, Phillip Dukes, a.k.a. DukesTheScoop. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at DukesTheScoop. And please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. If you have not become a member, please go to the description, see the link, become a member. And also make sure you check out International Voice. They have the best in Christian clothing. They have mugs. They have phone cases, a lot of Christian themed clothing and gadgets and widgets, whatever you need, they've got it on International Voice. Today, I got my partner from the Rundown, Justin Adams, and we're going to talk some Colorado football. Justin, what's up, man?
Brother, what's going on, Dukes? But it's funny. The last time we had a conversation was at training camp, and then a couple of things happened, and then 3 months later, now we're finally talking. Unfortunately, we thought that this team would be a lot better, not 3-9, but probably 9-3 is what we thought how the season would go. But just as us not doing the show, life happens. But it's always a pleasure to be able to be back on with you, my friend.
You had a lot of life happen.
Yeah.
You had a lot of life happen in between. All right, so for those of you who don't know, Justin is a reporter with CBS Colorado. All right, we're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
We got to.
Yeah.
You are literally, matter of fact, let's look at it. Let's go find it. Let's go find this, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking on the Shade Room and all these blogs, and I'm like, hey, that's Justin. Like, what, you went viral? Like, hold on, okay.
Man.
This is crazy.
No. Yeah.
All right, so let's look at this.
Man with a gun in Idaho Springs.
Yo, hey, put the camera on him. Yo, you see this person right here? Is this him? Would it be crazy if we actually found the guy right now? Because we saw a person who is literally fitting the description, who just walked by our camera.
The suspect came down Highway 103 and walked right past news cameras as they were recording their stories.
Bro. Bro,
Yeah.
hold up.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to get closer.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me you're out
Mhm.
reporting on the crime,
Mhm.
and the dude walks right behind the camera?
Yeah.
Was that live?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Walk right past me.
Hold
Literally
on,
walk right past me.
so you like, yo, so that shot came out on national TV.
Man, let me tell you. So it wasn't on air.
Okay.
But it actually makes it a whole lot better. So I'm literally going through, early morning reporter, for CBS Colorado. Shout out to everyone there. And, I get a, call in the morning. Hey, we need you to go up to Idaho Springs. Now, Idaho Springs is about, say, 25 miles away from Denver.
Okay.
So I get on, I drive, do my thing, do my couple of hits in the morning show. And then I'm like, hey, let me go and do my job and really get a deeper description of who this person is. We have the video, but I need a deeper description. So I call up, I think it's Silver. I can't think of the town right now or the sheriff's office, but I'll just go with Idaho Springs. I call a police station up. Hey, I'm looking to get a deeper description. And I say, yeah, 5'10", 5'11", 6 feet tall, wearing tactical gear, thin build. Okay, cool. And I can see, it's a black man also in the same thing. So I don't need that part of the description, but I can see it. So literally 6:55, I'm doing my last hit for on air before we go on stream. And my exact words were this: hey, here's what the description of this guy is: 5'10", 6 feet tall, thin build, wearing tactical gear. We believe that he's armed. So if you see him, don't confront him. Make sure that you call police. Keep that in mind. All right. So right after that ends, I see my photographer and his eyes are kind of trailing away a little bit. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And so right when I turn around, that's where you get the yo. And so that's why I'm like, hey, put the camera on him. And the reason why I say put the camera on him is because you just never know if it is the exact guy. But if it's a 1 in a million chance that actually happens, then I'm like, okay, then we have something. We have something, a story there. Lo and behold, I call up the station. I said, hey, I think we may have found the suspect. Interestingly enough, I think he walked right behind me.
And it seemed like he had the pistol hanging out the back, right?
Oh, that's another part of the story. And so as I tell my stationers, I'm like, hey, I think we may have found this guy. Hey guys, what do I do? And they're like, Justin, go and call the police. And I was like, you sure you guys can't call the police? You know, because I'm just like, so I go call the police, literally taking the words of what I said to all the audience. And about 10, 15 minutes later, the police station calls us back. And they said, hey, you know the guy that you just called us about? And you know when you on the phone with somebody and they want to tell you something? And I was like, yeah. They said, hey, that's the guy that we've been looking for several weeks. Several weeks we've been looking for this guy. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And so, no joke, from about 7:15 till my shift ended at noon, I was just stunned. Because I was like, I can't believe this actually happened. And so I had a video where I, gave a little description of what happened from my point of view. That took off. I just look on Facebook and I post everything on my own, sites and everything, and Instagram and TikTok and everything. And I see it slowly taking off. And then it wasn't until, weirdly enough, the Buffs are playing BYU. How about this, bringing it all the way back? I get a text from a friend and saying, I can't believe it. You made World Star Hip Hop.
Wow.
And I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, you made World Star Hip Hop and you didn't have to fight anybody or shake anything. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And there I was, man, World Star, Shade Room. I still get notifications from people who's checking out that. It was a crazy, crazy situation, but I'm so glad that everything is taken care of and everyone's safe.
Man, that's an incredible story. All right, so look, speaking of incredible story,
yeah,
the Buffs do not have the season that they wanted to have. All right, and you felt like there was going to have to be something incredible happen.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know where it was going to come from, but it happens to come from Sacramento State.
Yep.
Brennan Marion is now your new offensive coordinator for the Colorado Buffaloes. Tell me about what you know about Brennan Marion and the GoGo Offense.
How about this? I would tell you that he should have been a Buff back in 2001 or 2021. I was actually talking with somebody on Twitter because Carl Durrell was interviewing him for one of the offensive coordinator positions and ended up picking somebody else who I think at the time that was actually Mike Sanford that he ended up picking up, if I'm not incorrect. Mike Sanford stuck around afterwards once Carl Durrell was fired and led the Buffs to at least that one win that they had before Coach Prime came through.
Right.
And so, Mike Sanford now, he's doing radio at Altitude Sports in Denver and also a head coach with Valor Christian High School. So while I'm talking to this guy on Twitter, I'm like, hey, is this guy really all that good and everything? And he's like, yes, he's the guy that you need. He's the guy that should be there. He would transform Colorado, doesn't get hired. Well, now a couple of years later, he finally does. And this is needed in the worst way. Dukes, remember the first time that we talked, and I talked about what happened with Coach Prime at Jackson State before Shedeur came through. What was that? Hey, that was the only time that they had a decent run game. And I knew that in order for them to be successful, they would have to go and develop a running game. Well, now you fast forwarded after Shedeur and you look at what happened last year where the team struggles to run the ball. And guess what happens? Now you go 3-9 on the year, right? You're inconsistent in your running game, right? Going through several offensive coordinators there. So number one, the biggest thing for me is you're going to run the football. And you're going to have teams playing the numbers game for the first time. You're not going to have bubble screens and that being the numbers game. Hopefully we get a block on the outside with a wide receiver. Hopefully we don't have a holding penalty that also happens because there were several big plays that were called back. But now you're going to have a power running scheme. You're going to have an offensive coordinator who wants to run at least 80 plays, get that fifth quarter. And when you're talking about playing games at Folsom Field, you're going to have teams gassed in fourth quarter, right? Think about what happened against Georgia Tech, for example. You have a 20-20 game with 5 minutes to go. You have the football, and you can't do anything with the rock. Georgia Tech comes down, and they go and score the game-winning touchdown then. You even think about the game against BYU, right? You have an opportunity to win that game at home. Can you imagine if you had an offensive coordinator that wants to get you that extra couple of plays, that extra 10 to 20 plays, right? What would have happened in that game? But it's also a change in mindset. That's the biggest thing that I'm excited about for this team is that the mindset will finally change. In one of Coach Prime's final press conferences, he talked specifically about we need to change our mind frame on both sides of the ball because we had it in a sense where you had several games where you could either win or you could lose. There were a lot of games that they lost that were very close. There was actually one that they won that was really close, and that was against Iowa State at home. But other than that, All the rest of the games that were close, they lost. And so you turn that around, you're a bowl team, and rather than watching Championship Saturday, you're either getting prepared for Championship Saturday or you're getting prepared for a bowl game. So it's going to be a total different mind frame.
Having a guy who's been a head coach previously, when you talk about a guy like Brennan Marion on the college level, talk about how and you had that previously with Coach Dancy. But now, we're talking high level FCS Sac State, who got a lot of press last year. Having a guy who has a CEO mentality, how does that help a locker room?
It not only helps out the locker room, but it's going to help out the head coach, because now when you talk about some of the decisions that have been made from Coach Prime, especially when it comes to timeouts, when it comes to game management, now you could truly put that in the hands of your offensive coordinator. Now he could oversee everything and say, okay, well, this isn't working right, or this doesn't look right, I'll call a timeout here. But now you'll be able to go and become a better coach overnight just because of the people that you have on your staff. And isn't that something that a lot of people have been clamoring for? I could be one, to be honest with you. I've been clamoring for that as well. So that's going to help out this team immensely to have another coach, another bright mind who is an innovator, but also knows how to manage the game too. See, one of the things that people think of is that when you have all these 80 plays and it's 2-minute offense throughout the game, is that what happens when you need to run a 4-minute offense? 4-minute offense being you have the lead. Can you go and run the clock, get a couple of first downs, and end the game with the ball in your hands? You can still do that with this type of offense, and you can still slow things down enough to where you could be able to run the football. And oh, by the way, because you have been running the football throughout the whole game, now it's going to really pay off later on in the contest too. So to have a coach with that type of mentality, who's hungry, who's also looking for a head coaching job in Power 4, is only going to help out the Buffs.
When you think about having multiple running backs like the GoGo offense requires, 2 running backs going to be there, and you're going to have to make a decision. It's almost like a triple option every time with passing concepts. What type of pressure, when we talk about the numbers game, how does having three possible rushers in the same play put pressure on the defense?
It puts pressures on your defensive end, on your outside linebackers, and on your cornerback. You can also say safety, but on your cornerback too. Those are the 3 players that are really going to have a lot of pressure on. Your D ends are going to have to think. See, the one thing you want to do as a defender is just attack the ball. You don't want to have to think. You just want to attack the ball. But now you have to think out there. Now you're going to have a linebacker who will have to think, okay, am I the pitch man? Do I have to go after the quarterback? Do I have to go after a running back? Wait a minute, this running back went across the formation. Do I need to go beyond him? Like, you have so many different things that are going on. And even if you blitz, okay, well, you blitz now. We have side adjustments based on what you're trying to do to always have the advantage. See, the best thing about this offense, it's a numbers game. The GoGo offense is a simple numbers game. And if you can win the numbers game, you will always have the advantage. And what was the plus side for the Buffs last year? It was their offensive line. Their offensive line was able to move some furniture last year. They were also able to protect the quarterback. Now, it didn't pan out the way that we all have liked, but you still have big guys up front that were able to make some moves. And you're going to lose some guys through graduation and different situations. But you have really showed Buffs fans that you could actually put a really good offensive line together. If you could bring that back next year, obviously you have a couple of new pieces, man, it's going to be problems. And oh, by the way, me being a former tight end, it's great to see that you can actually use this tight end in this GoGo offense too. So it should be very fun for everyone involved.
Julian Lewis came on late as the starting quarterback. What did you get from him this year, and what gives you hope about Colorado's future at quarterback based on what you saw?
I thought against the Delaware game, he looked very small. Frankly, he looked very small in the 2 series that he played. And actually in that game, the momentum changed to where Delaware had it before, finally came back with the Buffs, and the Buffs ended up winning that game. So he wasn't ready at that time. When he came in later on in the year, and I'm trying to think of the game, it was the Arizona game when he came back, and he had a go route. And that ball was nice. I believe it was to a Marion Miller. And that was nice. Went for 6 and everything. And I said, okay, this kid has something. And every week you saw him grow. You saw him be able to just progress as a passer, but you saw in real time how he was able to avoid different mistakes. Against West Virginia, I thought that was just a fantastic game. He wasn't able to win that one in the end, but I thought that was a fantastic game. And so to be able to have him to have that experience with those 4 games, and oh, by the way, you still are able to hold his red shirt, he's going to come back next year, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, with some experience from last year. But oh, by the way, he's going to play in an exciting offense. That is going to be exciting to see. Here's my biggest thing for him, though. He needs to make sure he really, really bulks up and takes care of his body, because the quarterback is the pitch man. And he does run a lot of option in this go-go offense. And so if you don't want your young 18-year-old passer to get injured, well, then you got to make sure that Julian Lewis really focuses on bulking up his body enough to take any type of punishment that he may have next year.
And the good thing about the go-go offense is that it's adjustable.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I think when you saw UNLV, when they had multiple quarterbacks last year, and I don't know if you remember, they had the whole controversy about the quarterbacks feeling like he didn't get what he was supposed to get in NIL, and they had to go with the backup.
Yeah,
and they changed the offense based on who was running, who was the trigger man. And so that's the one good thing about the go-go offense I can say, is that if it needs to go to be more of a get the ball out of the quarterback's hand, they can do that.
Yes.
And if you have more of a runner than a passer, I felt like the go-go would have been better for Caden Salter.
Yes.
They had that. If you were running the go-go offense last year with Caden Salter, perfect.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that Marion has already said, like, through conversation over the past couple of days, he's already talking to he's already talking about, let me say that, how he can use Julian in this offense to make sure that he gets those progressions and that he's getting those route combinations that are going to be attractive to NFL teams. They want to see, the NFL teams want to see the deep out. They want to see, can you throw it on the line 18 yards out? Well, that's not really a big college throw unless you're running a pro style offense.
Right.
A lot of most college throws are going to be that in a quote unquote college offense. You look at what Tennessee does, where they've been so successful. They throwing hitches and goes.
Yep.
So they want to see, can you run different? Can you run the flag route? Can you run? What's your timing on a slant? This is a true slant. What's your timing? And I think the go-go has that ability to go into that, pun intended, but the go-go can go into that for Juju to be able to. Man, I just thought about it. The Juju and the go-go.
I
like that. Yeah.
Bro, you better put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, Juju and the go-go.
Somebody in the comments, give us a link where you can put that on a t-shirt right there, man. We're going to make some money right now, man. Get some money.
All right, so look, man, it's Saturday. I know you got a lot planned. We'll get out of here soon. I do want to ask you this, though. Where does Colorado start defensively to fix it? We talked about all we're talking about is offense, offense, offense. Defensively, we saw a defense that at times couldn't stop a nosebleed.
Yeah.
You cannot give up that type of rushing. How do you fix it? How do you fix the run game? Defensively, how do you stop the run?
Get some guys who want to stop the run. Get some guys who are hungry. You dealt with a lot of injuries last year, so that's number one. You can look at the injury report and be like, dang, man, you have 3-4 D tackles who are guys who should be playing, should be starting, who are out. So first of all, you have to get more depth upon the defensive line. That's the number one thing. But let me ask you a question. What made that year in 2024 so special defensively? What did CU do? They led the Big 12 in sacks. And how do you lead a league in sacks? Well, yes, on the back end, don't get me wrong, you can have some really good DBs. Travis Hunter doesn't hurt to have that, right? But also your big guys up front have to stop the run first. And then you have to get some special guys on the outside who want to go and get after the passer. That's what this team needs to do. This team needs to figure out a way how to go and get some guys through the transfer portal. Again, you got BJ Green through the transfer portal. You got to go and find another guy like that too. And yes, there's always competition in order to go and do that. But the number one thing is you have to figure out guys who want to go and stop the run, right? It's not only the D-line, but it's also the linebackers too. Can you have the linebackers get in their right gaps and make the plays? Once that happens and it's third down and long, you have to have special guys to be able to go and get after the quarterback. You were able to do so in 2024. You didn't do so as much in 2025, and that's one of the main reasons why you struggled as much. But if you could go in, imagine this. You're going to have an offense that runs to run 80 to 90 plays. If you could have a defense that can limit guys to just a couple of drives, you get a couple of 3 and outs, you limit guys to a couple of drives. Well, now their offense is sitting down getting cold, and their defense is on the field. Now having to go and deal with this offense that's always fast pacing. It's going to help out on both sides because when you get later into the game, what happens? Things start to open up. That 2-yard gain becomes a 5-yard gain. That 5-yard gain becomes a 20-yard gain. And now you start to see gash play. So you need to make sure you take care of the D line up front, get some guys who are hungry, who wants to stop the run, get you some good linebackers to be able to go and help out in those areas too, get some special pass rushers, and then at the end, let your offense fly and let's put some points on the scoreboard.
Justin Adams, great stuff, my brother. Where can everybody find you on social media?
Hey, find me on Justin Adams TV. I'm always available. I'll hit you back. But if you walk behind me during my live shot, you might go to jail. I'm just saying. It is what it is. It is what it is, bro.
It is crazy, bro.
Hey, also, I do play-by-play broadcasting too. So right now I'm actually in a hotel in Laramie, Wyoming. So doing some work for the Mountain West Network. So, hey, hear me later on today at 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Wyoming, the men's basketball team is taking on Dartmouth. Should be a really good, exciting game. And I'll be doing a play-by-play. It's a goal and a dream of mine to be on, the big places, ESPNs, Fox Sports, you name it. That's the goal of where I'm going after. So, keep your boy always lifted up. That is definitely the goal as we go for 2026.
All right, man. Listen, man, you got to claim it. So, and the more you claim it, the more you'll start to see it. So, hey, man, it's yours already, my brother.
I appreciate you, family. Hey, let's make sure we do this again soon, man. Let's not wait until, I don't know, 3 more months.
Yeah, spring ball. Yeah,
let's
do it. Let's do one like Tuesday.
Hey, Tuesday it is, man. Let's get it down.
All right, bet, man. Hey, man, thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. We are out.
Salute.